والسلام على رسوله الكريم أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن عدة الشهور عند الله 12 شهرا في كتاب الله يوم خلق السماوات والأرض منها 4 حرم ذلك الدين القيم فلا تظلموا فيهن أنفسكم وقاتلوا المشركين كافة كما يقاتلونكم كافة واعلموا أن الله مع المتقين إنما النسيء زيادة في الكفر يضل به الذين كفروا يحلونه عاما ويحرمونه عاما ليواطئوا عدة ما حرم الله فيحلوا ما حرم الله زين لهم سوء أعمالهم والله لا يهدي القوم الكافرين. وقال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم من تشبه بقوم فهو منهم أو كما قال عليه الصلاة والسلام صدق الله العظيم وصدق رسوله النبي الكريم. My dear respected brothers, elders, listeners, as we all are familiar and know that we are currently in the first month of the Islamic calendar, the month of Muharram. And in this blessed month, last Friday, was the 10th of Muharram. And I had shed light on some of the virtues of Ashura, the 10th of Muharram, and what had happened on the 10th of Muharram. However, there was still some parts remaining which, with the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the aim is the last few parts that will remain to be covered in this short time that I have. We had reached a point where Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam had mentioned that if I remain alive in the following year, then I would fast on the 9th also, the 9th of Muharram. Because on the 10th of Muharram, we have some things which people have falsely attributed to this day. And we have those things which are sound and come in authentic narrations. What we do know, what happened on the 10th of Muharram is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had freed Musa alayhi salam along with the Bani Israel, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had drowned Fir'aun and his army. وَأَغْرَقْنَا آلَ فِرْعَوْنَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned this in the Quran many occasions. So this event that happened, it was on the 10th of Muharram. The reason why Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam intended to keep a fast on the following year, not only on the 10th of Muharram but on the 9th also, reason being was because there was some resemblance with the Jewish community. And this is what our topic is for today, about this resemblance. Because of this resemblance with them, meaning they would also fast on the 10th of Muharram, and the Muslims also fasted on the 10th of Muharram. Now Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, to remove this resemblance, had intended that the following year, if he remains alive, you will fast on the 9th also. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam disliked even an unintended resemblance in worship with the non-believers. This is a very important lesson for us to learn as Muslims. Our youth, especially our elders, the young ones. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam disliked this resemblance in ibadah, in worship, which was unintended. There was no intention, and it's something which, when he was informed, immediately Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned that I will, if I'm alive, I will fast on the 9th also. So we have to think as Muslims. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us this, our religion, Islam, and we are Muslims. This is our identity. We should not shy away and hide away from this. Our youth that go and work, and they go to college, and they go to universities and high schools and primary schools, at times feel ashamed or and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us such a religion which is distinguished and distinctive to all other religions. Other religions, they have their worship which is fixed to their place of worship. But as Muslims, we do not only worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or ibadah in the masjid. Our 24-hour life must be ibadah. Worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not restricted to the masjid. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us such a religion which is superior to other religions, and as Muslims, our youth, we need to understand this. Maybe we have not spent enough time in studying what hidden treasures are in the Quran, what clear evidences there are for the existence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone. But we must have this understanding that our religion is superior to other religions. We should not imitate and follow others. Now, there are two words. So if we go into a bit of depth, so we can understand. There are two words. One is called mushabaha, resemblance. And the word that has come in the hadith, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned, man tashabbaha. Tashabbuh means to imitate. Mushabaha means resemblance. The word in the hadith that has come is whoever imitates a nation, then they will be raised with them on the day of resurrection. Mushabaha can happen without intention. For example, other religions may wear certain clothing. Our intention is not to imitate them, but we have worn them because it's a uniform for work or for school or workwear or in general. This is fine. But if we are wearing clothing to imitate someone, my intention is that I am wearing such clothing so I want to be like such and such a person. They are my role model. This is what tashabbuh is. And this is where, as Muslims, we have to be careful. When this comes, this tashabbuh of imitating, of wanting to be like someone, selective as a role model, then we have made this clear that we would like, as the words of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which is haqqan, is the truth, whoever imitates a nation, they will be raised with them on the day of resurrection. May Allah save us. We have to look who is our role model, who are we imitating. Like I mentioned, it's important to understand both words. Mushabah is a resemblance which can happen. You have no intention. It could be a clothing, it could be a food, anything. And other religions eat the same thing or they wear the same thing. It's fine. You have no intention. But when we are imitating that I would like to be such and such person, and I want to be like them, they are my role model, they are my ideal, how they have dressed and what they are doing, I want to be like this. This is what tashabbuh means. And this is what we have to keep ourselves away from, and our youth. Because such people that do this, we have Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam as our role model. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned in the Quran, لَقَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam is a perfect example for us. We imitate Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Do we not see the companions? How did they imitate Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam? If there was a tree or a branch that was in crossing, that was obstructing in a pathway, and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam had ducked down from this branch to get past, and there was no branch there because someone had cut it off, some of the companions would even duck down at that moment because Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam had ducked down. Do we not see how the Sahabas had imitated Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in every manner and possible way of life? Their love for Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, imitating Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And this is a command that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given to us as Muslims in the Quran. We must imitate Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and take him as our role model. If we have not done this, then what will we do? We will look around and have other role models. Then the question is, would we like to be raised with them on the day of resurrection? The answer would be no. So then why have we kept them as role models? So it's very clear from the text of the hadith, Man tashabbaha biqawmin fahuwa minhum. Whoever imitates a nation will be with them. So I tried to explain in the best possible manner the difference between mushabaha, resemblance, which is unintentional, and tashabbuh, when you actually intend to try and look like someone. And there are many texts that we have. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has mentioned, Khaliful mushrikeen, oppose the mushrikeen, the non-believers, their ways, adopting their lifestyle. Because Islam and our religion is superior than other religions. We do not need to look elsewhere how to live our life. We have been taught to such a level that even how, when one relieves oneself and goes to the toilet, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has given us guidelines about this also. So it's our duty as Muslims, we learn this and understand this and have firm belief in the laws that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has set. Sometimes we go out and we are mixing with the non-Muslims, but we do not have enough confidence of what we believe or enough knowledge that we can communicate with them and spread Islam and teach them about Islam. Islam is so powerful that when you see non-Muslims just entering the masjid, the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they are impressed, they are affected, to the extent that when they see the unity, when they see the rows and how the discipline in prayer is, there's a time which is set and everyone will get together and they will follow the Imam. Just looking at this discipline has an effect on them. So we have to keep this in mind and understand. And also another point that I would like to mention, because sometimes the simple-minded Muslims, they get affected by others. It's the time that we are living is social media, and we become affected very easily by looking at certain clips or certain screenshots that have been sent, and it can affect us. One screenshot that was sent to me was where someone has sent a screenshot and said that do not fast on the 10th of Muharram. Subhanallah, I was amazed that someone has taken a screenshot and mentioned, do not fast on the 10th of Muharram. Why? Because the family of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was martyred on the 10th of Muharram. And when the family of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was martyred on the 10th of Muharram, fasting is done usually to celebrate. And this was something that was invented in that time where people would fast. Na'udhu billahi min dhalik. What such false information? Firstly, we need to understand the love as Muslims that we have for the family of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Every Muslim must love the family of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If they do not, their iman is incomplete, or who would even declare them as a Muslim? Secondly, was 10th of Muharram virtuous at the time of when Hazrat Hussein radiallahu anhu was martyred, or was 10th of Muharram virtuous in the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? So it's very clear, we know 10th of Muharram was virtuous in the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It was virtuous also before that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one that has created the day and night, and Allah has given some days special virtue and some nights special virtue. Why He has? This is in His ilm and His knowledge. What He has made special and virtuous, we do not need to go into the depth of that. Now, when this was virtuous in the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam fasted on the 10th of Muharram, and we have clear ahadith on this. The Hazrat Hussein radiallahu anh and his family being martyred after many years after Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam had passed away. Now, if someone says that do not fast and sends a picture message, when we have clear evidence Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam had fasted, then indeed a simple-minded Muslim should not think that the family of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was martyred on 10th of Muharram, so I should not fast. When we have clear evidence Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam himself had fasted on the 10th of Muharram. So it's important we understand this also. We have many clips.